No, the show is starting. I'm not ready.
I'm really not.
Here comes the serious shit.
Okay. See, this is why we have to have Scott back.
Why?
Because I was going to poop in the toilet and do things like that, but...
Well...
Ivan, you out of the bathroom yet? Ivan, that was a creepy-ass video you put up just now on Facebook.
I'm singing in the hallway?
It was in black and white, and you were singing in silence.
No, I sang. There's words to that.
I know you were singing There's Words to It. That's a great song, There's Words to It.
Yeah. I never heard that song.
That's because I wrote it. I wrote that song. Mm-hmm. I do stuff like that.
Ivan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
Okay, Jeff, you ready?
I'm no, because if I'm being honest, I need therapy. I need
therapy? Why do you need
apparently now every time I look at the Bulls logo, all I see is the Bulls logo upside down with a robot fucking a crab.
Yeah, that's what the internet says.
Well, no, when you look at it, it's there.
I like the one where they turned it upside down and somebody put a DJ thing, and it looks like
it looks kind of like that too. But I'm like, I don't know who saw that and thought that was something that everyone needed to know. But as a longtime Bulls fan, I'm now traumatized by this.
Now you can't not see it. Congratulations.
Yeah, now I can't not see it, and it really sucks because it's.
Well, I mean, remember the old Red Dog ads where if you turn the can upside down, it looks like Batman was eating out a Catwoman's pussy?
And welcome to the Squares of the Round Table podcast. I'm Jeff Stein, and with us today is Ivan Rivera.
Yeah.
Mike Boyle.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to either end this or start this.
Did I shake you up already? Did I shake you up already?
Not me. You didn't shake me up, but I have friends of mine once in a while. They're like, "So what's your podcast?" I'm like, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, we handle some dark stuff.
It's not even.
And we sit naked while we do it.
It's not even some dark stuff. It's just like every so often it's like, yeah, we're normal, and then that comes out of nowhere. Hey, if you turn this can upside down, it looks like okay.
Well, yeah, but it's true though. Go on the internet and check it out.
I don't want to go on the internet and check it out.
The internet said so.
Yeah, so it must be true.
So therefore, it exists. Yeah. It's a thing.
Hey.
Thank you for listening to our podcast thing.
Yeah, we're on iTunes. Are we on Google Play now, too, as well? Is
yes,
that true?
I was in the car. I was driving Ivan home, and I made him install the Google Podcast app.
And it works.
And it works. It's there. Hooray.
There you go. And now it's there for you to throw your ass to everybody that wants to hear it. That and on Apple as well.
And everybody who doesn't want to hear it, it's available. All you got to do is go into either iTunes or Google Play and look for Squares of the Round Table podcast and click on the subscribe button. And if you could rate us, that'd be awesome, too. That'd be really cool. So,
So go ahead and check us out, man, because you will definitely sit there and think to yourself, oh, my God.
These people are nuts.
It's up, and it exists. And here's what we got going for you. Yeah, so who starts off with this situation?
Who's off with this
Yeah, that's why people want to listen.
Well, you present it any better than I can, Jeff?
Really? You want to go there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yes, I think I can present it. Ivan, what did you do this week?
What did I do this week?
I bet it's stuff and things.
Well, yeah, I did a lot of stuff, and I did a lot of things, and I did a lot of...
Okay, Jeff, what'd you do?
Wow.
Okay. Anyway.
Spirited day-to-day. Okay.
Yeah. No, Ivan came out to visit for the weekend.
Oh, did he?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you have to, put away all the toys and stuff so he wouldn't break anything?
No, he was very good. He didn't break anything. Just my spirit.
Oh, whoa!
Nice. That's a nice shot.
I came and got him on Friday. Well, first of all, I'm like, I said, take the train out. You can be anytime after 3. And I sent him a text about 4:30, and he was all like, I say, what's your 20? And he's like, I'm at the drugstore or something.
At the pharmacy, picking up my meds, and then I'll be on my way short.
Because you're here to visit me, you need to be medicated. So,
well, he probably does.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
you know.
But when you deal with like Jeff, sometimes these things are necessary.
Yeah. But I don't need pharmaceuticals. My
Are
drug.
you sure? Wait, did he really say he was? I feel like you missed something from Ivan's answer.
What's that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm at the drugstore.
No. Okay, these are actual real drugs that I'm taking here for real symptoms.
Real drugs, yeah, real stuff.
Real drugs.
Important things.
Not the recreational stuff that I have to go to insidious parts of the city to find, but as far as I had to
not
go.
Much longer.
Yeah. So,
not much longer.
No, not much longer. You're right.
No. So I got Ivan at the train station. We came back, got him a burger, and we had a nice little visit here. And then Saturday morning, we headed out to Milwaukee with a couple of friends of ours. We went to a little barbecue meetup with some of our fellow toy collector buddies from the show Dairycon we go to up in
Dairycon
every April.
Version. Yes.
Just a fall meetup. Just a little barbecue and a little toy swap meet kind of thing. It was great. Great food.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Time. We had burgers and brats, and Ray brought a dessert. And
oh my gosh, that dessert was amazing.
It's like a banana split kind of dessert kind of thing.
Your wife needs to send the recipe because my wife will turn it out. I'm telling you, it was the best thing. Two times I had some of that dessert. Banana split dessert, right?
It's like kind of a banana, like a banana split. I could say.
Banana split.
Tra la 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 la.
Banana split.
Kind of in a casserole form.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's gluten free.
Yeah, the graham cracker crust, whatever was made with.
Amazing.
So.
Okay.
So we ate semi healthy.
Oh, are you kidding? So good.
Gluten free does not mean semi healthy.
Oh, believe me, if you were to have this, Jeff,
I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's semi-healthy. It's not semi-healthy. It's just.
I'll put it this way: it is semi-healthy, but you would never know it was semi-healthy. You would think it would be the most decadent thing you've ever put into your mouth.
It wasn't. It was very.
Wow, that's
very sweetening, very fattening.
I don't know.
Oh,
I can't.
yes, and I'm fat. And
I've had some decadent things in my mouth. I know.
I know what his number is.
Stop right there, because everything else from beyond that gets to the X-rated part of the show.
It rained all day, but at least it was an indoor venue.
So, do you guys bring the Transformers with at that point, or how does that?
Some of us, yeah. There were plenty of tables around and chairs, but I brought our own tables to be sure we had enough room. We just sprawled them out, and then we just popped a squat. And although one lady in the back had a little fryer going, so they were making crab rangoons we could buy for $1, and there were other
and turkey egg rolls.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
And they were delicious.
They weren't bad. With the sweet they were a little bland. With the sweet and sour was good though.
Okay.
Yeah, I had enough of them to test them all the way through.
So what do people do? Do they just go around looking at people's toys, or
exactly.
How does that work?
It's kind of like buy, sell, trade kind of little tables. Just set up your table and just hang out. When we had one TV towards the front, we had I think a fighting video game going on, like Street Fighter or something like that. And then there were people who were able to donate to raffle prizes and other fun stuff.
So did you buy anything?
I was playing records. Yay!
And Ivan was playing records. Yes, I did get a couple of things. I got one of the third party one of the Dinobots from Fans Toys,
Okay.
and it was cool. I got that, and that was the main thing. A couple little things here and there, and
Now, do like people like set them up kind of like they stage them, like they have like terrain and stuff, or is it just they just put them out for people to look at?
The guy who runs the website, Agabus, who sells like a lot of the third-party Transformers, he had a little display set up front where he had like the computer set up with a guy like an iPad behind it to make it look like it was like a computer screen, and all the robots were hanging around in front of it. But most people we weren't doing a diorama thing. We were just setting them up on the table just to sell. Most of them were out of package. One guy had a bunch of stuff that was in package, like on the cards or in the boxes or whatever.
Ooh.
But it was good though, and there were lots of drinks, not non-alcoholic, obviously. But it was mostly guys. A couple of girlfriends and wives were with, and a couple of kids. But it was like, what was he? 25 people, Ivan? Ivan?
Yeah.
Ivan!
What? I was getting my headphones. Hold on.
Oh,
yeah.
Now's a good time to get ready for the show.
Yes.
Hey, Ivan,
Yeah,
we're
well,
about to start the show.
Oh.
All right, start over. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, everybody, welcome. Ivan, got your headphones on?
I guess the reason I'm asking, Mike, is I don't know. After a while of going around and looking at stuff, I guess I would get kind of, if there wasn't anything to play or do, I'd get bored.
Yeah, there were people who had, like I said, the board games going on, and although this was informally from 11 to 5, and some people left early, and it was just food they had and walk around and eat while you were looking at the toys.
Okay.
And it was, I say, I don't know how big an area you could say.
People don't let you touch the toys when you're eating, right?
No, I mean, most people are good. We had plenty of napkins and paper towels and stuff.
I could see somebody be like, "Oh, that looks interesting." Oops, I got mustard all over his face. My bad.
No.
Oh boy, I got my DNA all over this toy.
Now people are good with how they handled their food and the robots.
And the people, everybody was so cool, and the raffles were a good time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not every day you can go ahead and get a raffle, get 3 chances at a raffle, and come away with so much really cool stuff. I came away with a bunch of Batman merchandise, and then I had Fred. Hey, Fred. Huh? Oh, had the 1966 diecast metal card, the comic book card, the 80s Batman card, the first movie card. I also got a Bumblebee reissue from Mike, and I also got my Ecto 1 Transformer crossover with the
Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Very cool, very, very cool. Thank you, Fred. Yes, indeed. And brought a bunch of tunes, and people were digging the tunes because it's like, hey, I got a bunch of 80s tunes playing. Who's that crazy guy in the corner? So that was cool.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah,
had a great time.
That's good. It was good.
Yeah. Then we went to we had a good amount of really great food all weekend long between what happened at the convention and then what happened, at Mike's house.
I hardly call it a convention, but
well, okay, a meetup. All right, fine.
Yeah.
And then of course, between Mike's mom, hi mom, making all this wonderful food, and then having gone there and had all this wonderful food, and then of course Mike taking me out for a wonderful chow, and then took me to the Vinyl Frontier record shop, which I walked away with.
How long were you stuck in there, Mike, waiting for Ivan?
No, it wasn't that long. It was like not even half
not even an hour. Yeah.
It was less than an hour.
That's shocking.
Why?
Well,
what do you mean, why? I've been with you to a record store. I know what that's like.
Do you know what that's like? Have you been to a record store with me?
Yes.
When?
Long time ago.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was like when.
I know you don't.
Was it like the Tower Records? It used to be by the container store.
No, we didn't go to Tower. He took me someplace that was like an old school place.
Okay.
that like had a bunch of stuff, and I think we were there for like 2 hours.
Are you talking? What? No, wait a minute.
I can't remember where, Ivan. I just remember you. There were a couple times we went places, and you were just like, you walked away with like, I mean, if they had a grocery cart, that would have been helpful for you.
Well, yeah, believe it or not, there are pictures of me with a grocery cart full of records.
Right. Well, I don't question that.
I'll have
They
to
didn't
post
have
one.
one. They
I
didn't have one,
I will post one to the SOTRT page, and I will post my picture of me with a grocery cart full of records. Okay?
You don't have
If
to.
you got
I
the
believe
picture,
you.
yeah, go ahead and post
I have
it.
the
You
picture.
can
I'm going to
but
post
I
it.
believe you. I know. I mean, I've been to your place. I mean,
Oh, you talking about Logan? Did you come to Logan Hardware Records? No, I don't think you did.
no, it was before that.
Okay.
This is when you were still at Humble.
When I still was at. This is when I was still where?
You were still You were still in Humble Park, at the apartment.
Oh, okay. When I was over there living on Armitage. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a record store that was up the street.
There were a few different ones you took me to that you were like, you just like. There were a couple times too where like we were by VVX, you'd go to places and it's like, Ivan, don't we need to get back? Oh no, we're fine. And it's like there's nobody at the radio station. I'm like, dude, should we like get back? I guess what if somebody shows up? Oh no, there's not gonna be a problem. I'm always Jerome shows up and we get caught. We're so boned. And they're like, oh no, he's not gonna show up. It's like
and which most of the time Jerome never showed up anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it was always my fear was always. My fear was always, knowing our luck, somebody was going to show up who wasn't supposed to be there, and then be like, where are the two of them at? Because really, there was nothing to do.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, when the tapes are playing, yeah.
Well, no, they had their own. That was usually they had their own board. They had their own.
Yeah, on board ops
in
and
there.
all engineers and shit. So it's just like.
So it's like, okay, we'll just sit around and.
Twiddle our thumbs.
Put our thumbs up our butt or something like that.
Order from Rudfuckers or go ahead and order from Max's Deli, or we just sit there,
Or I think Eduardo's was around the corner.
Eduardo's was down the street, yeah.
Yeah,
and then
once in a while we'd hit Eduardo's or something like that.
We go out for drinks and go to Timbers and get a drink or something,
That was usually you and Jerome. I was smart enough not to be.
Oh well, no,
I'll leave Timbers into drinking for Jerome. That's
well, that was Jerome's thing. The only time I went to Timbers on the clock was when Ed was working at the station, and basically
we had the Christmas party.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that time where I went to go figure out where all you guys were, and you guys all went up to the offices and got stoned, and I knocked on the door, and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, hey, can I come in? They're like, you guys are all like, we're stoned. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'll just come in and sit around. I don't care. They're like, oh, okay, come on in.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I'm not going to smoke, but I'll take the contact high, and I don't care.
It was funny because Ed always had the best shit because he would grow it on the rooftop of his house in Michigan, and he'd go ahead and then he'd go ahead and he'd bring it to the station and everything. That's where I got the ratchet wrench pipe was from him. That was a lot of fun. And we always used to sit there and fuck around with Harry Leg all the time, and we're blasted off our gills while testing the signal while doing all this shit.
He wasn't in there that night, though. He wasn't in there that night.
Who? Not Harry Leg.
Harry. No, not Harry. It was all. It was pretty much the ops and Ed.
Well, Ed was always about Ed and his.
Right.
And then, of course, Harry Lake, he was looking for some male booty up by Devon Avenue, eating it.
Good Lord.
Harry Leg?
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
L-E-G?
He changed his name. I think he changed his name to that.
No, believe it or not, I saw his ID. His name is Harry Leg.
Yeah, well, you can get it legally changed, but that's
well, I don't know.
So what'd you get from the record store? What kind of did you get? Anything good? Anything you were really looking for?
Oh yeah, believe me, there was a bunch of things that I ended up in my piles. There was a lot of upgrades. I had broken a record on the way to Dairycon, because I pulled out. I'm like, oh shit! But then it ended up coming back to me when I got to Vinyl Frontier. Props to Vinyl Frontier, great store. Thank you. To everybody over there who did their groovy thing to help us out. And there was a bunch of doo-wop that I got that was in there. I got a Dale Hawkins I had never seen before. Just like half the stack was all new stuff that I'd never gotten in the collection. One that really bowled me over was Question Mark and the Mysterians. I had never known them to be on any other label, but it just blew my mind that they appeared on Ray Charles's label, Tangerine Records. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Have you played it yet?
No, I haven't played it yet. So I'm kind of, getting in the mood for that, and then I'll just see what all of it is. Because today was just me running around, from doctors and going over to my mom's house and taking care of that situation. Then I had to go run to this clinic, to that clinic, because I'm trying to get my ducks in a row for my surgery this Friday, and so try to get everything done. So I hope everything goes the way it's supposed to go. And I want to tell you something, guys. And I'll be honest with you. This is honest stuff. And I know, Mike. I know you've been put under. Jeff, have you ever been put under?
Yes.
Okay, now talk to a guy who has never been put under in his whole life. I was half under when I got my other surgery years ago, which that's a whole nother story. But
I've been put under twice. One of them I don't have any recollection of anything involving any of it. But the other one, when they went to take the rod out of my butt, it was count backward, and the next thing I remember was being wheeled out.
Okay, all right.
Now, granted, that was 20 plus years ago, so.
Okay, because I'm having plumbing issues done this Friday, and they're gonna not do it in my butt, but in the other appendage, and so I'm kind of scared. So, I just been getting opinions, and I talked to you, Mike, and I talked to Mom, and now I'm asking you and everything. I'm just trying to get people's experiences on this thing because, going under, you're in the hands of the guy or the girl who's the technician to put you under and just put you in a state of where you're just a few feet from death, and it's scary,
Make sure you have apnea, right?
Yes, I do.
You need to make them aware of that.
Yeah, I made them aware.
Make them aware of the fact that you have apnea. That's important.
Okay, they know about the apnea. They did an EKG on me. They did the blood work. They did a number of different things. They did a whole bunch of stuff beforehand, and that's why I was running from Peter to pay Paul today, making sure all that paperwork got from my place, Oak Street Health, shameless plug, to my other doctor who's going to do the actual surgery. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. This is my first venture, and from all accounts, I've gotten a lot of it's going to be all right. So I'm feeling a little easier as it goes along, but it's just, I guess it's inherent. Anytime you're going to have something intrusive in your person, it just kind of shakes you up a little bit,
Your fears are unfounded. Okay.
Well, that works for me. That works for me.
Hey, look, all I can tell you is, and I don't want to get a lot into this, but when I broke my leg, in 3 places, I didn't even know what had happened because the last thing I remember was I closed the book and supposedly went to sleep. And the next thing I know, I wake up in a bed, and I'm literally sitting there, and I'm like, okay. And I got this thing shoved up my nose, and I'm like, okay, I'm in a hospital. I'm not sure what's wrong. And I'm like, I looked at the right hand, and I'm like, okay, there's stuff in here, and I can move it. I'm good there. I seem to be able to talk. I'm good here. I moved my left hand. I'm like, okay, that's good. I moved my right leg. That seemed to be fine. And then I went to move my left leg, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, we found the problem now. We have seriously found the problem. That was painful. Let's not do that again.
All right.
So the good news is you'll at least know what happened. Because when I woke up, there wasn't anybody there. Nobody had realized I had woke up yet.
Okay.
And so I'm the one doing it, and I'm like, let's move the left. Ow. Oh
Okay.
my God, was that painful?
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, I mean, like 5,000 faces was like, oh, but man, they had me on drugs. They had me on the best freaking drugs.
They had you all hopped up on morphine and shit.
Oh my God, they had me. It was so funny. Somebody, when I finally got out of ICU, somebody called me and they're like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine. How are you?" They're like, "You are totally baked, aren't you?" Yep. And they're like, "Why don't we call you when you're like more awake?" I'm like, "Yeah, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow's better. Not today."
No.
It's like I had somebody else call me who I wasn't exactly a fan of, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I have to hold it in to not say the things I really want to say, which is, I hate you, you're bleep, 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 bleep." And I'm like,
Hi there.
"Yeah, it's great." I'm like, "Oh God."
Hey, how you doing, man? You're a shit.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to be a lot worse than that. And I'm like, "Oh, this is not easy." I'm like, it was funny because at that point I'm like, yeah, no more phone calls today. Tomorrow when the drugs wear off.
Okay.
Tomorrow when the drugs wear off, this is a lot smarter.
There is no truth serum.
Because,
No.
well, that's close, because you're flying around and you'll say just about anything when you're that hopped up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on the state. I mean, well, it's just like when you get drunk, you're more honest when you're drunk, or, when you're high, you're more honest when you're high, because you don't have any inhibition happening, so you're going to let fly what's going on in your brain. So I can just imagine how that multiplies.
Well, keep in mind.
Penis shit,
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I broke my left femur in 3 places.
No, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
It takes a sledgehammer to break. You can't even break a femur with a sledgehammer usually.
Okay.
And that's why they have me hopped up on all that garbage, and I'm like, whee.
Oh boy.
But
Yeah.
Knock on wood, I've never had a broken bone in my body.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, because that's not what they knock when you break it.
Oh yeah. I have
wood.
everything on my right side has been broken. I broke my right arm at the phone company working a jack drill, and I broke my leg going to the radio station New Year's night 20-some years ago.
96, Ivan.
It was 96, yeah. And
Was it? Wow, okay.
yeah, I mean, I got off at Brayside, and I walked across the intersection. I slipped on a patch of ice, fell on my ankle, and I thought I broke my ankle. So here it is, I'm shuffling up the sidewalk because there's no service, there's nothing happening in Highland Park.
Of course not.
Okay, but you got the Highland Park police, and they look out, and I'm like trying to flag down and say, "Hey, I need help." And they think I'm some drunk motherfucker, just after the party. So here it is. I walked 3 miles from the Brayside station all the way to 210 Skokie Valley Road.
Oh.
To sit there all day in the rolling chair to run the station alone the whole day. To the point where at the end of the day, the pain was so bad, I called up my brother and my mom, and they came and they picked me up. And then my mom just had to touch my leg and said, "Honey, you broke your leg." And I'm like, I did? She goes, "Yeah, they rushed me into emergency, cut open a brand new pair of slacks, and found out that, yeah, I indeed broke my leg in 2 places."
Yeah, that's the part that's annoying when stuff like that happens and you're not 100% involved with some of the decision processes.
Yeah.
Like the day that when I broke my leg and that hell happened, I was wearing like this really kick-ass suit that I had bought.
Oh no!
That thing was gone.
Oh,
I'm like,
no!
What happened to my
They
suit?
cut
They're
through the pants. Oh shit!
Forget they cut through the pants. I don't know what else they cut through and everything, because there was other shit going on. And I'm like, that's not happening again.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, and I just gotten these blue jeans not only a couple days before, but in my first really good pair of blue jeans, paid $24 for these motherfuckers, and I'm just like, jeez.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Imagine $24 in 1996 money.
Yeah.
That's like $25 today.
Well,
Yes.
I would say 26, but okay.
Yeah, I would. No, yeah, forgive me, Ivan. It was more like a $300 suit that I lost.
Well, I know. You have a suit that's a $300 suit.
My $24 slacks.
A $24
Rest in peace,
I
slacks.
get it. Hey, as long
silk
as...
suit with the herringbone collar and
Not the hairy leg collar.
Yeah.
No, the herringbone collar with the pinstripe suit and the Panama hat and
I didn't have no Panama hat. What the hell are you talking about? What am I, some sort of freaking whack job explorer or something? Jacques Cousteau. I'm looking for
shoes
the
and pink
animals.
shoelaces, a polka dot pants, and man, oh man, he wore tan shoes with pink shoelaces and a big Panama with a purple hat band.
If I only knew what he was singing.
You didn't hear that? I was okay.
I've never heard that one.
You never heard that?
Never heard of that song. Have you, Mike?
No.
Yeah, it's called Pink. It's called Pink Shoelaces by Dodie Stevens. Check it out.
Hey, did you know that it's the 30th anniversary of Rhythm Nation?
30th anniversary of Rhythm Nation. Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Jeez,
30 years. Holy crap.
Yeah, where does the time go?
That was a good album.
That was a great album. Shit.
Yeah.
Miss You Much, was that on that? Because it has that same kind of.
I think so. I think it's on that one. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Was it Nasty Boys on that one too?
No, Nasty Boy is on Control.
On Control. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a. Black Cat is definitely on.
Oh man, the Eddie Van Halen solo on that fucking kicks ass. It does.
Hold on. Let's see if I can get a
clip.
Songs. Here's songs. Okay, more songs. Bingo. That's what we're looking for. So, Rhythm Nation, something called State of the World. I don't remember that one.
I remember.
Something called Knowledge. The Knowledge.
No.
Miss You Much is on that one.
Yeah, that's what
Love Will Never Do. Living in a World. All Right. Escapade. Black Cat. Lonely.
Escapade.
Come Back to Me. Someday It Is Tonight. Yeah, and then there's some interludes in there too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a solid.
That's a solid album straight across. The videos are mind blowing. They're so good.
89.
Yeah, no,
Have you ever saw the videos to that?
I think it's been a while, but yeah, obviously.
I mean, they're just. I mean, I personally think that in some instances, I think Janet Jackson did a much better dancing job than her brother Michael. In some instances.
Well, you know who her choreographer was at one point, right?
Who?
Paul Abdul.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I didn't.
Paul Abdul was her dance choreographer, and then Paul Abdul ended up spinning off and doing her own stuff.
She had a little thing on her own.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, she did Straight Up and Forever Your Girl.
Right,
and
right.
2 Steps Forward, 2 Steps Back, which that was another one.
That goes a bit of contention because one of the backup singers sued her because she claimed to be lip syncing or whatever.
Well, yeah, because she did some of the voice.
Her voice was dubbed over Paula's. Or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I remember that being a little. I don't think she won that suit though.
No, she didn't. No.
Well, it's funny because. I mean, really, for a while, she was. I think she was kind of. I don't know if she was out of the business or where she was at, but then the American Idol thing happened, and
that was like 10 years later.
I know she, and of course, I think she was the choreographer for some football team for a while. I think she was one of those. Yeah.
Was she the choreographer in? No, I don't think she was the choreographer
for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was going to say Living Color, but I don't think she's the choreographer in Living Color.
No, not Living Color. But maybe she was. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so.
Rosie Perez.
Was it Rosie Perez?
It was Rosie Perez.
I didn't realize Carrie Ann Inarva was on that show. Was one of the Fly Girls too. Besides her and besides J-Lo and Rosie Perez. I mean, geez, they really were like that show. Really was like stacked to the gills with people.
Well, it had so many good things going on with it. Why they let it go, I'll never know.
Oh,
Because-
I read an article. Where did I read it? There was an anniversary article, and they were talking about how the Fox executives were always nervous because of stuff that they would say and do. And then they got into it with the Wayans family, and they tried to do it without the Wayans family, and it just fell apart.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sank like a stone. Because also they were trying to put all their ducks in a row with Jim Carrey, Fireman Bill.
Yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill, yeah.
Fire
and all
Marshal
his
Bill.
comic characters.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And he eventually went off and did his own thing, and he did all right for himself for a while.
Well, I mean, it's funny because it's like, what? Who else? I mean, Jamie Foxx was there.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim Carrey and Jamie Foxx, and then Tommy Davidson kind of had a career.
And Damon Wayans.
Well,
Damon Wayans,
without saying,
Yeah.
Damon and the whole entire Wayans family without saying, because Marlon Wayans has had a career too.
Oh yeah, well look at White Chicks, which everybody knows that movie.
That horrible D&D movie that's really bad that he's in, that he plays the thief or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah, that was awful. Yeah, I do remember that.
It is. It's which I love to torment my D&D friends with. To no end. I love to torment them to no end with that movie because I'm like, oh, let's watch the D&D movie. Shut up. Oh, come on. No, shut up.
Speaking of D&D, mind if I inject something here? I think it's either the 4th or 5th Sunday of the month over at Logan Arcade. We have a D&D tournament there. So if you're ever in the neighborhood or want to check it out, Jeff, or you might, of course, you too. Hey, come on down and check it out. I heard it's a lot of fun.
Tournament.
Okay.
I'm curious what it'd be. I'm curious how it would make it a tournament, but I don't know.
Yeah, bring your pencil and paper and spend 2 hours and roll up a character, and then we can all go home.
Well, I
then
think it was
max it to death.
I think it was something 5.0. I don't remember the name.
It is. There's 5th edition.
5th edition,
Okay.
I don't know if it's tournament. It's probably a league.
Just a meetup or
probably
league. That's it. That's the word.
It's more league play. It's not league play. It's what do you call it? It's ongoing campaign play.
Okay. See, well, you know this better.
What they have is. Well, no, they do have. In fairness, they've had contests before where it's usually team contests where they'll like if you'll work together as a team, and if you hit certain completions and do certain things, you go on to the next level. Because Gen Con had those. I haven't played in one in ages, but the RPGA used to have one back in the day, and there were a couple times I got a couple levels up. But there were certain things that was like you just had to do it. And there were certain things you had to be aware of, and it was kind of bullshit. But
okay.
The only other thing I was going to bring up music-wise is apparently there's a rumor that Andre 3000 and Dr. Dre were seen in the studio together. I'm like sitting there going, and when will we get this? Never.
Well.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
We kind of almost got Detox, and then it went away. I didn't realize Outkast had an issue with their label. That's why they stopped making music.
Yeah, they did.
I did not realize that they had a label dispute, and that's why Outkast. That sucks.
Well, there's a lot of label disputes that happened with all of those artists. I mean, it was just like in the 80s with the hair bands. The hair bands fell under the regiment of the 3-album deal. Okay, and you know how it works. The first album, just because it goes platinum doesn't mean nothing. It's if you can repeat the magic the second time. But if you didn't repeat it the second time, you had one more opportunity before in the contract they can go ahead and drop you from the label. And that happened a lot in the 1980s. That's how come there was so many.
But that's different than this. It's more along the lines of they wanted to get out away from the label. The label's like, you're stuck with us. So,
well, yeah, that's because
why we don't get any more Outkast shit.
We don't get no more Outkast stuff. Okay, De La Soul stuff has been hoarded upon. Everybody's finding all this stuff from Tupac's endless vault of music, and of course, same with Prince, which they just released another album of Prince unreleased material just recently.
Michael Jackson too. it's like, how many outtakes of stuff did some of these guys have that you're like, that they're like sitting around? It's like, you don't hear that much about Biggie Smalls because, or AKA Notorious B.I.G. Because if you did, Puffy would like be all over that shit.
Of course he would.
He'd have had like 20 albums out because he lives vicariously through Big, even in
through Notorious B.I.G. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of these artists, they have tapes left over of unfinished songs or demos or whatever.
Sure, that's possible.
And then what they do is they collaborate, and they're like, hey, that practice has been happening forever. Yeah. Completion of unfinished tapes, unfinished tracks. I mean,
there's the one, right, where I can't remember what the track is now, but there was one, it was Michael Jackson that got finished up by Justin Timberlake where he does it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That isn't bad. That one's not bad. There's a few others like that, but in
the hip hop / dance community, that happens a lot, where you get these collaborations amongst the remaining members of a crew, or you get some of the DJs who collaborate with some of the original artists, and then they make up new product stemming from existing product, which that happens a lot too. A lot of sampling, a lot of retrack, stuff like that. That happens a lot now in that particular.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised. I guess Ed Sheeran did a track with Eminem, and I was like, really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Eminem.
Well, no, I'm just shocked because it's Eminem. I mean,
yeah,
if you had said that 20 years ago, he never would have worked with someone like Ed Sheeran.
Right, exactly. So that's why
Interesting.
It becomes okay because all right, and then you get the thing where you get all right, and I don't want to like draw color lines here, but you get a lot of white people who are listening to heavy duty hip hop and house music and stuff like that.
Guilty.
And you're like, yeah, and so it comes right down to the fact that it becomes part of these essences of these people, and then they come up with these collaborations that you would never otherwise thought.
I still get people even now in my 40s, okay? Right. I still have people who, like, when I was like on the treadmill and I was working out, and people would be like, "What?" And it was funny. There was a couple guys who were brothers who'd be like, "What are you jamming out to anyway?" And I'm like, and they're expecting something like hardcore, like metal or hard rock or something, and it's like Dre. And they all look at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah,
it's like that.
Yeah, and it was funny because at that point I get all the respect in the world from all these. And it's like if I didn't have respect from them already, everybody was like, "Oh, we need to talk." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure."
Like, that is correct, Funk Soul Brother.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's right. I got Dr. Dre Chronic on an album. Okay, come on over to the house. All right, let's chill.
Absolutely. To the next episode.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Fuji's, Fuji La and all the rest of that, the score.
Yeah, can I say Lauryn Hill, one freaking album and then just disappears, and people still talk to her about like, oh, she's amazing, she's incredible, and that one album was great. But there's a part of me where I'm like, you only made one damn album, lady.
Yeah, but it was a great album, The Uneducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, but it's like she's been living off that thing for 20 years.
And they're still buying it, and they're still spinning.
Yeah.
And they're still like the Fugees. They're still doing Fuji line. They're still doing.
How do you top that?
Because it's so.
That's why
good.
It took Tool to make, 10 years to make another Tool record.
Yeah, all the whatchamacallit fans are still.
Well, yeah, what's left of the fans who are listening to Tool, But you go ahead and you play the Tool to the masses now. They're like, well, who the fuck is Tool?
No, that's what happened. All those Taylor Swift little kiddies are like, what the hell is this? Where is this
generation later.
from? Yeah.
They
haven't released an album in 13 years. How good can they be?
I mean, yeah. Well, here it is. I mean, this is a society that's listening to Greta Van Fleet. Okay.
Now, Ivan, you were at the meetup and you're playing
yeah,
some 80s pastiche. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to leave that alone.
What, the Greta Van Fleet shit?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone.
You know what? Okay, go ahead.
I did see a picture today where she's standing over the shoulder of Trump, and she looks like she's got eye beams that'll fly out of her eyes at him. or like if she could like make him combust into flames like Stephen King, that was possible.
It was great when she and her twin sister were in The Omen together.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, more power to her, but I'm telling you, some of the pictures, I'm like, that child's a little scared.
Remember that show, Small Wonder? It was
I
the
remember
little
Small
girl
Wonder, yeah.
who was the robot.
Girl. Yeah.
You know
she
what?
could be the next one. She could reboot that series.
You know what?
You know what she could?
Now that'd be a horror film.
Now that's a horror film waiting to happen.
Seriously.
I mean, if they could horrify the banana splits, they could
exactly.
Little, like Small
That's
Wonder.
exactly where I was going, Ivan. Was to make the banana splits into a horror film. Small Wonder could be a horror film.
Well, a real horror film, you know.
Seriously.
Or just kind of like would you get into the
it swells a knife a la Chucky.
Well, I think they kind of did that with the movie AI, where it's just so jarring and uncanny valley, like with how like Jude Law and the kid were being it was just so unnatural.
That unnatural, like the butterfly effect with Ashton Kutcher. Oh God, that movie still creeps me.
Yeah, I guess Demi Moore's got some shit on Ashton and this book of hers.
Oh, does
coming
she
out.
really?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, you know.
Well, they divorced.
Here's a real question. Who else does she dish on? Because like we're talking what? Rob Lowe, John Nelson, Ali Sheedy. I mean, Andrew McCarthy. All those people. And Bruce. And what would happen with Bruce? My God, what did you go say about Bruce Willis?
Yeah, does she do anything with Judge Reinhold at all? Whatever happened to Judge Reinhold?
Really?
Well,
really? Nah, I'm not looking it up. No. You want to find out? You go.
You go find out what he's been up to.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Waiting
Anyway,
for
but
Beverly Hills Cop 7
I
or
was going to
something.
say the last thing I remember is Beverly Hills Cop 3, but who knows? I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he's done anything else since.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the only thing that marginally gives me a memory of Judge Reinhold is Fast Times at Ridgemont High with Sean Penn. You know, Phoebe Cates. She was hot.
I feel like there's something else that he's done that I should be like, I should mention too there, but and
Anyway.
Anyway, what else, Mike? What else have you? How was the hardware store this week? Anything good, or what else is going on?
You mentioned something about the '80s music, Mike. Go with that, and then we'll go to the hardware store thing.
Well, we're at the meetup, and Ivan's playing these '80s songs, and a lot of younger people like
the younger peoples
were asking questions to Ivan and stuff. Did you get any interesting stories or mentions? Like people come up to you and be like, "What do you do?"
Well, you know, the people were asking questions about, you know, I played Electric Avenue, and everybody's like, "What?" You know, it's
because the meetup was on Electric Avenue,
right? So
I didn't know he had to. I didn't know he had to bring it.
I brought it because
out on the streets.
The box that I had was from a session, half of it that I didn't get to use in the session on the 80s night that I did. So I brought that box with me, and I was playing the stuff I didn't play there. And it just so happens I had a copy of both Electric Avenue and Romancing the Stone from the movie Romancing the Stone.
I'm romancing the stone.
From the movie of the same name.
Is it the same guy? Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
It's the same guy, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it Tyler? What's his name?
No, Eddie
Grant.
Eddie Grant, yeah, there we go.
Eddie Grant, yeah. And then I was playing like Sweet Child of Mine with Guns N' Roses. I was playing some Genesis. I was playing what the heck? I was playing some John Fogerty. I was playing some Rat. I was playing some ZZ Top. It was just this eclectic 80s mix thing that I was doing.
And a couple of people would stop and talk to Ivan while he was doing it.
And they're just like, wow, what's that? Or who's that? Or I haven't heard that in a long time. So one guy is just like, man, I haven't heard that in forever. You know, so that, you know, so when you get reactions like that, it's cool. And,
you get, what, no Warrant Cherry Pie?
Well, I had Warrant Cherry Pie. I mean, well, I'll be playing I'll be playing. Well, yeah. Then of course there's Dockin, Kingdom Come, and Black and Blue, Zebra, Y&T, Glass Tiger, White Tiger, Great White. Once bitten, twice shy. It's just all these, all that whole thing. But and I also did.
Did you play any Nickelback?
No.
No Nickelback. No Nickelback. No. How
did they become such a punchline?
That's because they deserve to be. But
yeah, in the meantime, they made a shitload of money.
Yeah, they made a shitload of money, but
they made a boatload of money in the 90s.
Well, they've succeeded. We're still talking about them.
Yeah.
Well, just like what's the other group that just keeps coming in and out of the whole thing? Matthews something band.
Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, but no, they don't get nearly any. They don't get shit like Nickelback does. Dave Matthews never does. The only thing that I've ever heard bad about Dave Matthews was the thing that happened in Chicago when they dumped the sewage on all those people. Yeah. From the bus.
Somebody opened up the shit pile and it went to the lake.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a lake. They did it over the freaking Michigan Avenue Bridge.
Okay, and all this shit
going across the river. There were people in the boat, in one of the boats below, and
the shit on them, man.
It was like one of those Wendella boat rides or something like that, like a tour boat.
Where the top was open, yeah.
Yeah, where the top's open.
I mean, it's like something out of Carrie, man. I'm gonna laugh at you. Crazy.
That's why it didn't even happen in the lake. It was literally they're like driving over one of the bridges.
Yeah.
Like,
they got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, literally as well.
See what I got there? Yes.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay.
But aside from the meetup and then Sunday, we're just chilling a little bit. Showed Ivan one of the episodes of The Toys That Made Us. There's season 3 is coming in November. I can't wait. Then I drove Ivan home in the rain, all the way there and all the way back. It was nasty.
Both ways.
Awful.
Uphill.
In the snow.
I was feeling bad.
Yes.
I was feeling bad. I was like, damn, he's got to ride in that shit. Dang. Wasn't happy about that. Sorry.
But I made it.
You could have dropped him off at the train station and made him walk with a broken leg.
With a box full of toys.
He's right.
But yeah. So okay. Now bring ourselves around to the Adventures of Mike at Ace Hardware. Take it.
I wasn't at Ace Hardware this weekend. I was with you, buddy Ivan, friend of mine, pal of mine. But it came in Monday to a not too bad of a mess.
Okay. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be.
I had one of my guys call in sick on Sunday, and Ivan's in the house, and they text me, asked me if I could want to work today, and I just almost punched a hole in the drywall. But
I'm busy telling him, you know what, you need to go HR on him, Mike. You need to get him to 3 strikes you're out speech and shit. I'm sitting here, concocting all of these things to go ahead and reprimand him in some kind of way. But then when Mike explained to me the situation, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, then
Actually, it was the guy's dog died. He had to put it down his dog.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, yeah.
It's kind of sad, but.
All right.
But we handled it. They took care of it, and I didn't come back to too much of a mess, so it's all right.
So anyway, let's see. Okay, so couple things for this week. Let's see. I learned a valuable lesson this week.
Hooray! The learning never stops.
I learned a valuable lesson this week, and that valuable lesson is this.
Ivan, he didn't even say what it was yet. He's already laughing.
Don't ever ask why The Princess Bride should ever be remade or rebooted.
Yes, the internet united.
Oh my God!
Republicans, Democrats, atheists, Christians.
Forget the internet. All I did was ask why. I didn't even care. It wasn't one of those things where I thought they should, but I swear to God, I'm like, I hadn't heard from people there are people who responded I hadn't heard from in like months, who all of a sudden were like, it's like pitchforks and torches and yeah, and I'm
the
like,
whole thing, yeah.
Holy! I'm like, Whoa, okay. We have found the trigger point. Got it.
You got me.
Holy moly.
Yeah. After Mike dropped me off at home, I ended up hoarding the toys that made us.
You mean binging?
Okay, I binged.
Yeah, there you go.
I binged a bunch of episodes, and then I binged a lot of Saber Spark, which was really great.
Yeah, he's got some good content on YouTube. Yeah, he's cool.
Yes, he does. And then I also today got hooked on this really out of left field collection of videos from a case called let me see, I think it was called Antique Oddities. You know, and it's just
that a show?
Antique Oddities?
Wasn't that a show? Sounds like a show would be on the History Channel or something.
Or on the PBS. Antique Oddities.
Okay, so here's this cat. You know, he does all of this research on all of these stories about all of these people that have been like, you know, they were like famous for a short time, and then they were left to languish in mental institutions for 50 years, and the murder at Madison Square Garden in the early 19 teens and things like this. I'm just like, and he had such a distinctive voice while he was reading the text, on the screen which I was watching, and he had all these great photos and great trappings that made up this video. I mean, it was really interesting.
You're not watching those flat Earth videos, are you, Ivan?
Those what?
Flat Earth theories.
No.
Okay.
I'm not watching no flat Earth theory videos. No.
Yeah. So I like I said, I learned this week it was important not to ask about why it can't be remade.
Did they have any salient points?
Some did, and when others didn't, and I would ask them questions, they would right away turn it around on me and be like, well, why do you want it remade? I'm like, I asked you first, and that wasn't the question. I'm asking you why you're saying that. And I would bring up certain things, and they'd be like, and then they get like more angry about it, and people thought I was trolling, which I kind of was, but at the same time.
But the question presupposes a theory that you do want one. Yeah, that was their assumption. That's what they jumped to.
Right, and that's the funny part is I was like, and somebody finally was like, "Do you want one or not?" I'm like, I never said I wanted to remake it. I just wanted to know why people thought it was a bad idea. Everybody's like, "Really?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, what? And people are like, we hate you. I'm like, what?
Dang, we hate you? That's
not hate you, but they're all mad at me.
I hate you.
Because I riled a whole bunch of people up about this thing. It's like,
good, Jeff,
In fairness, you know what? I've thought about this a little bit. You know what?
What?
If they remake it, it doesn't mean I have to. Somebody said it right. If they remake it doesn't mean I have to watch it. And if it's not any good, then we'll all sit there and berate the hell out of it. But what if it is good? What if somehow they could make it better? I doubt it, but
like the point of so many remakes, it's kind of like has fucking the Hollywood run out of ideas that they have to remake and remake and remake.
But like,
Ivan, you ask that question all the time, and the answer is no.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's some of it, but like, for example, I mean, there are some movies that I've thought about when I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? I would be interested in a remake. Like, and this is where people are going to yell at me, and I'm going to look at me like, I'm going to want to come through the phone on me on some of these, but like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Remake Gone with the Wind. Why not? Remake Citizen Kane. I mean, there's an entire generation. I mean, let's be honest. There are kids who, and you know this to be true. There are kids that it's like they don't watch
feelings. You know this to be true.
They don't watch anything past their like birth date.
Yeah, I mean, nobody. A lot of society today doesn't go back far enough because to them, to play Gone with the Wind. Oh, that's a relic. Wizard of Oz.
Exactly. So why not? why not do something like that where,
Okay, and I can see that. I can see that in that case. But then there are some cases you're just kind of like, why?
No, but here's the thing. What I just said to certain people,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be torches and pitchforks too. Without question.
Mm-hmm.
You want to remake Gone with the Wind? How dare you?
Why don't you remake Casablanca?
Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Because most of Casablanca was ad-libbed. So that would really take
it would be kind of funny if you had... I will say this. I don't know about reboot, but it really would be amusing if it was then Fred Savage with his kid. Fred Savage playing the grandfather.
Right.
Talking to his grandson and reading a story from that book.
Okay.
With similar characters or something like that, or the next generation of characters. That might be interesting, but
yeah, maybe like Wesley and Buttercup's daughter or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, sure, why not? Why can't?
Okay.
It was funny. Somebody said well, you can't replace Andre the Giant. Sure, you can. The Big Show.
Right.
The Big Show has more acting ability than Andre ever did, and I love Andre.
Just use CG with Mark Ruffalo to remake Andre.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I can do that too.
Just kidding.
What else did I? Well, I was at the TEDx.
Yeah, you did your public thing over the weekend.
I was at TEDx on Sunday, and I saw 4 really incredible presenters on their different big ideas, and that was pretty cool. And some interesting. One of them was talking about taking big steps using small steps. Another was on wearing a hijab, and then there was one talking about this guy whose son with drug abuse and different things, and then the last person was talking about smarter donation and how you can help more with donating your products and whatnot. Which it was, like I said, they were okay. They were pretty good, but it's cool because it's the one I did a couple years ago, and so it's nice to go back and see how other people do and what they do and be there to support.
Just see their interpretation of some of your material.
Well, it's not my material. My material was entirely different. I did an entirely different talk.
But maybe the subject matter, I guess, is what I was going after. Yeah.
Yeah, better not do my subject matter. I'm gonna kick their butt. I did see Hustlers this week.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. It was solid.
What's it kind of about? Oh, it's just like these. When I get it, they just women who.
Strippers.
Yes, just strippers? Just the lives of these strippers? Is that it?
Well, and they kind of ran a big-ass scam where...
Okay.
Was it kind of like a...
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Was it kind of like a sort of Ocean's 12 type of thing where they had all women?
No.
Oh, all right.
No, it's not. It was more along the lines of how after the crash... things had to change quite a bit.
Okay.
And how suddenly these were high class women that were working with Wall Street types and big money types.
Right.
And
in 08 when the economy tanked.
And then they kind of started to lose it. So what they kind of started to do, and this is. If you're going to see the movie, this is the spoiler part, so please
Hustler
leave.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
Which is that they would kind of hang out with a guy, slip a guy a Mickey, they would bring him into the club, and then they would rack up a bill, and they'd make money on it. When I say rack up money, like, they'd run like a $5,000 bill, and you get the idea. It's definitely interesting, especially considering the fact that I gotta be honest, I spent a good number of years in strip clubs when I was younger. I mean, a lot of time in strip clubs, so I'm aware of some of these things and what I would see. I mean, I'll tell you right now. I remember being at a club here in Chicago, and I was in a champagne room, and there was a guy who was so drunk. I mean, so ridiculously drunk. And he's back in the champagne room, and there are literally girls who are like, "Hi, get us." And his card was, they had run his card, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna stay back here for another dance." Yep. Go ahead and go ahead and another bottle of champagne. And I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, "Damn." But like I said, it was interesting to see, and you know, they kind of talk about it, it's a little bit about camaraderie and family and different things. J-Lo is really good in it, and it's constant. I think it's constant Wu from Off the Boat and Crazy Rich Asians, and then
okay.
Cardi B is in there, and the girl who plays Betty on Riverdale, looking wow. My biggest complaint about this movie is, in my opinion, is it's funny how somehow these girls never get naked. These girls, I'm serious, these girls never get naked. And I just don't. Now, maybe it's because it's an R-rated and none of the actresses would do it.
Right.
But I'm kind of like
who's
sitting there,
swinging a hammer?
Nobody's swinging a hammer. Not I.
I'm hearing a tinking noise, like
Yeah, I mean,
John Henry's hammer.
But I just don't buy that guys would like literally like pay out that kind of money without, how can I say, without
seeing the goods.
Without seeing at least the goods. I can see guys. I mean, I look. There have been times where I got dances and the girl's 5 feet away from you, and you're just like, oh,
right?
Geez. Okay, all right, fine. Mental note: when this is over, we're done. We're done. I did not pay for you to be all the way over there. And it's funny because there are a lot of the girls who were kind of like that.
I am not finishing my.
And I'm like sitting there going, if I had that kind of money, I'm telling you right now, there's no way in hell that would happen. No way.
Not for
then
that,
again, I didn't have $5,000, and you know.
Not for that kind of money.
Well, there are a couple of scenes where they were skirting the NC-17 boundaries, or
not really.
No?
Not in my opinion. I mean, they showed. It was funny. They were J-Lo. I'll tell you right now. J-Lo does a whole sequence where she does a dance and she does pole tricks and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me where I'm like sitting there going,
I wish it was that pole.
Wow. I'm like, wow.
Do we see any titties at all?
Yeah, but it was all extras, like the people who were not major players in the movie.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was
the pasties in a G-string being a shot, pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty much them in bikinis for the most part in hot outfits.
Okay.
And that to me, and it's like I said, I'm not. It's the part where I feel like this movie, the reason why that this movie has it the way that they have it is it'll appeal more to women.
Well, they don't find that the directors are trying to objectify the women.
Right. Well, again, in some ways, some of this movie is definitely a little bit about women empowerment.
Yeah.
In some ways,
okay.
which is okay. I have no problem with it, but I
Right.
do kind of laugh because I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, every strip club I've ever been in, I'll tell you right now, if you don't, I know how I am. You better get naked on some level. I mean, even if it's just topless.
For my money, I want to see the goods.
Well, and if you're not going to get topless, and you're not going to get bottomless, you better not be standing 5 feet away from me.
No, you need to rub me.
Right, and that's where that personally, because I've been in clubs like that, that's where my disconnect. That's where my disconnect was on it. Because I'm kind of sitting there going, I'm kind of sitting there and I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? No, that's, I mean, now in fairness, there are guys where that works and they would do that kind of stuff. And and you could get away with stuff like that, but I just wasn't one of them, and I just keep feeling like for that kind of money, no way.
It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no, I would give it, out of 5 Yeah-Mans, I'd give it 3.5. It was solid. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I honestly see how Jennifer Lopez has an outside shot at an Oscar nomination. And honestly, I think Constance Wu has a shot at one, because I thought she was phenomenal in it. If anything, this is now the second movie in a row that she's done that I'm aware of, because she did Crazy Rich Asians that has done well, and she's got that off good. And she does that Off the Boat show. She's going places.
Well, she's a credit. She's a credit to her race, and she's putting it out there. So
I don't know about that. I'm just saying,
part of the human race, Ivan.
Well, that too. Okay,
but she's a talented actress, and that's somebody who's an up and comer, and I think her name is Lil Reinhardt. I think that's her name. The one who plays Betty on Riverdale.
It's Lily Reinhardt.
Oh my God! It's like
that's Annabelle.
All the dreams. That's all the dreams I've ever had about her wearing stuff like that on Riverdale. And I did not realize they put her in a lot of sweaters and things because she's supposed to be Miss Prissy. And I'm telling you right now, they need to start putting her in skimpier stuff.
I'm a Veronica.
I want my hand closer to my appendage from where my knee is.
No, I'm not doing that.
Don't be pulling a Pee Wee Herman while you're watching the movie.
I will say.
They pull your Pee Wee.
I'm telling you right now, J-Lo had to learn how to do that somehow. And I'll tell you right now, she looked amazing. I mean, she looks like she's got the body of a 20-year-old.
You seen Elizabeth Hurley's Instagram pictures?
No.
Elizabeth Hurley is 53. She looks like she's 30.
Yeah.
Freaking
amazing.
I
mean, I can tell
She's
that J-Lo...
rock.
I'm telling you right now, J-Lo trained for this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, she... but yeah, Hustlers is a solid film. It's good. It's a good 2-hour watch. It's fun.
Well, I'm glad that's good, because I remember going back to Demi Moore when she did that one.
Yeah,
Striptease.
It's funny you say that with Striptease, because that's the one comp I have, which is there's a part of me where I'm like, obviously J-Lo is not getting enough money for this movie because Demi Moore, if I remember correctly, Demi Moore got huge money for that role to take off her top.
She was topless in Striptease?
Topless.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene where she does the striptease, and she rips off the bra, and I swear to God, I mean, she looks freaking amazing. I mean, she looks incredible. I mean, the last time we had seen her naked was like about last night or something like that, and you can tell that her boob job was spectacular.
Yeah. Although for me, I thought her moves were just a little bit stiff. Not, I mean, she.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you right now, J-Lo is all over. I mean, J-Lo is a dancer, so you can get a wild guess. You can take a wild guess how that looks. So.
Well, yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot, without question. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I'm trying to think what else this week. I've got Showtime for a little bit, so I was watching Becoming a God in Orlando, which is a new show with Kristen Dunst. And I can't remember who else is in that. Interesting, very dark, about those multi-level marketing things and that kind of stuff. And I'm still about 4 episodes through. I haven't made up my mind about it, if it's good or bad or where it's at. But I keep watching, so I know.
Is it a weekly series on Showtime?
Well, it's at the moment, I think it's 7 episodes, and They're through 6 or something, but
All right. But is it streaming or is it week per week?
I think it's week to week.
Okay, there you go.
I think it's week to week. But yeah, it's the only things I can think of.
Did you watch any of the Emmys?
No, I did not.
No.
I did not, but we can certainly talk about it a little bit because did you watch any of it? Did anybody watch any of it?
A little bit here and there. I was in and out. There were just no hosts, so it was just kind of that was interesting.
I think they tried that after the Oscars when they went hostless and people liked it, and maybe it didn't work. I think it's funny because they said the numbers for that are really low, and
ratings were low for down this year.
Well, and I gotta be honest with you, I think I know the real answer to that one, which is, and people aren't gonna like when I say this, but when most of the shows that are winning are on all these streaming services, and I know people have them, but most of the country doesn't.
Right.
Most of the country doesn't have them. When most of the really great shows that are out there are on HBO or Netflix or Amazon or stuff like that.
Hulu, and all the rest of them.
It's about to get worse because HBO Max is coming out, and now NBC
Disney Plus,
NBC Universal announced Peacock last week. Okay, where they're going to do that, and Disney Plus is is coming up, and it's getting to the point where if you watch regular if you're watching regular TV or basic cable, the shows and the shows that you used to watch on basic cable that people would sit there and rave about, they don't get talked about anymore.
No.
I mean, look what's happening. Okay, going into a sports tip real quick. Okay, WGN just aired the last Cubs game ever.
Well, not ever. That could change.
Sports is another whole animal altogether as far as broadcast television.
That's...
We're just talking about TV shows.
Okay.
On top.
Yeah.
But the premise is the same because of the fact that you got people going into streaming services. Now you got to pay for shows that you want you to see in more collected streaming services.
Wow.
Now they're all being splintered.
Don't forget to wash your hands, Ivan.
Yes. Dry them.
I'm having a glass of water.
Oh.
Okay.
Right in the middle of the show.
Enjoy.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's part of it, Mike, is that when you have a lot of these streaming services and you have a lot of the stuff for HBO and it was one thing when it was just HBO. Now it's, did you see this? Like I have a buddy of mine. It's like, oh, I have Amazon. Did you see this, this, and this? No. Did you see this on Hulu? No, I haven't seen that. There's a lot out there now, and it's about to get even more ridiculous. Yeah. Because
we've had many discussions about the streaming wars and
right. Well, and I don't. As long as we're talking about it for 2 seconds, like I said, NBC Universal is putting theirs out sometime around the Olympics. Now this is interesting. This is where Ivan's comment is interesting. One of the things that they're talking about is their launch is going to be at a time when they're going to do Olympic coverage.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do Olympic bonus coverage in 2020 of the Summer Olympics through their streaming service through Peacock.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense,
and that's right.
But NBC did that because they have all the other NBC cable channels that were able to air all the less sensational Olympic coverage, like all the trials and
right. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work and what's going to happen with that. The other thing is, so they announced
bean counting on Peacock.
They announced 3 new. Well, I shouldn't say new. I should say reimagined or continuation series of 3 different shows. I don't know if you heard about this or not. One of them is Punky Brewster.
Okay.
Right.
And they're going to bring in Saul Moon Frye supposedly to be the mom.
Okay.
And supposedly it's going to be her kid, so it's going to be Punky Brewster's kid or something along those lines.
Punky Brewster, the next generation.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
that.
Funky Brewster.
There's this new Saved by the Bell.
Hmm.
Which is interesting because...
Who's going to be Topanga?
That's the wrong song. That's the wrong... Dude, you just lost your card.
I know.
You just lost your cred card. How could you not realize that Topanga? That's not even the right show.
I know.
That's Boy Meets World, dude.
Are you sure it's Boy Meets World?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think it's Boy Meets World.
It's definitely not Saved by the Bell, Topanga. Come on.
Well, Screech was in Saved by the Bell, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, see, so I'm not
supposedly it's gonna be Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez bringing back their characters, and something about having kids in the school, and then they made Zach Morris the governor for something, the governor of California. But here's the interesting part: Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach Morris, is like, I haven't been contacted about this. So they might be
It's like
an
when
entirely new person to play Zach.
Right, when they announced they're making another Ghostbusters movie, and Ernie Hudson was like, nobody's saying anything to me yet.
I think the most interesting thing is, apparently, we're getting a new Battlestar Galactica.
Is it on Sci-Fi?
No, it's going to be on Peacock. It's going to be on this Peacock.
Good, then it won't be canceled like every other Sci-Fi series.
Yeah, seriously. That joke has been going around for a while now. It's like, that joke is like, especially after Krypton, that joke is like totally out there. It's like, if you have a show that's any good, that's science fiction, whatever you do, don't put it on Sci-Fi.
Exactly.
Because it's only going to last like a season or two. And then you're going to be like, but I like that.
And they'll leave it at a cliffhanger. Yeah, we were just talking about that at dinner Saturday night when we were coming back from Milwaukee about shows that got canceled.
Yeah.
At a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They were like, oh. So...
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
well, good. Okay, bring back Battlestar. They tried to do it with Caprica after the Battlestar reboot with Edward James Olmos and all that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I never saw the sci-fi Battlestar.
It's good. It has some good moments.
I couldn't get past the idea of Apollo and Starbuck having a relationship and not feeling like it's gay. Even though Starbuck was a girl. I just couldn't do it. And the other part was what I said to people, I'm like, so what did they do for the dog? And they're like, oh, the dog's not in it. I'm like, but the dog was the most interesting part of the show.
The Moffat, yeah.
Yeah, that was the most interesting part of the show. They're like, oh, you just want all the hokey stuff. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I kind of do. I don't want to watch
Can't have a Battlestar reboot without the Moffat.
Yeah.
Monkey dressed in an orange suit.
Yeah, I saw that at Universal. I saw that when they did that. I was like, oh my god, it's a monkey. How'd they do that? I was all freaked out. I'm like, oh my god, they put a monkey in there? You know, that was back in the day when nobody gave a shit what happened to monkeys. Now it's like, oh my god, you put a monkey in there? You couldn't put a monkey in there now.
No monkeys were harmed by.
No animals were harmed in the making of this.
Yeah, seriously.
Which, of course, you know, the shameless shows that incorporated monkeys.
So I guess the Emmys were okay. They did a dedication, like a farewell, like tribute to Game of Thrones. But okay, good for them. But
yeah, what else did they do one for? They did a couple of shows where they did like we're sad that you're leaving or whatever the heck it is.
The Big Bang Theory?
Was that one of them? I don't know.
Did that win any Emmys for like best comedy because this is his last season?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like some show that I've never heard of that apparently is on Amazon called Fleabag.
Yeah, that won Best Actress, I think.
Right. I think that was for comedy. Now, it's funny. One of the ones that won a lot of awards that I did see from Netflix was Love, Sex, and Robots, which is that those short animation things that is kind of like it's kind of the best way I can explain it is it's got a little bit of a heavy metal feel to it, but it's not heavy metal in any way, shape, or form. And they're like short form ones where they're like, sometimes they're like 5 minutes, sometimes they're like 15 minutes, and there were like a bunch of them. And I know they're making a second season, but some of them were funny, some of them were serious, some of them were just strange, some of them you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? I'm serious. There were a couple I'm like, what was that? And then there were a couple where it was like, this is interesting, why are you cutting it off here?
Because they can.
Well, it's like, you just did this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm like, what are you doing? But I'm trying to think, what else do we have this week, Mike? I'm trying to think of news this week. I
was with Ivan Saturday, and we're just chilling on the couch and having a beer, just talking about how fun we had that day. And I opened my internet machine, phone, it
happened.
I learned the news of the passing of Aaron Eisenberg, who played Nog on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I didn't realize that guy was 50 years old.
I know. But I guess he's had some health problems in the past, and he even got his second kidney transplant came from a fan, actually.
Wow.
So that was cool. But yeah, he went too soon, but he had some great moments in the show. So our hearts go out to his family, and they had an Indiegogo, but they cut it off at $20,000 because then they would have to be taxed, and then they didn't want to burden the widow, his wife, with the tax burden, because they wanted fans wanted to help out with his funeral arrangements. So, but yeah, it's very sad. It was another sci-fi great had passed. Way too soon.
There was somebody else who passed recently, too, I can't remember, that I have to look up. But, I'm trying to think what else. I guess J.J. Abrams is doing a Spider-Man comic with I think it's his son, that they're doing an actual, with his son Henry, and they're doing I don't think that this is like an in continuity thing, but the funny part is apparently some of the ideas for it. Somebody's like, yeah, we have that. It's called May Park. It's Spider Girl and it's May Parker. And people are like, why? And you just changed it up to a guy. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know why. I'm sad because this is the last week. This is the Suits finale. Is this Wednesday?
No.
Love that show. Some of the best characters I've ever seen are on that show. So disappointing, but fun. Trying to think what else we got.
Warner Brothers teased an image of the upcoming animated Red Sun feature.
Yeah, Mark Miller was going ape crap about it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Did they get about that? There's casting or something that it looks good.
I haven't heard any of the voice cast yet.
Okay. So that rumor that we had a while back, about Tom Welling and how he's like, oh no, I'm not going to be in Crisis.
He's in Crisis.
Right. He's in Crisis. Not only is he in Crisis, Erica Durance is going to play Lois Lane from that time frame. And as much as Michael Rosenbaum wants to continue to insist he's not playing Lex Luthor and not coming back, everybody says he is. And the other interesting thing that slipped out was Mark Guggenheim was talking, and apparently the timing did not work out. You'll get a kick out of this, Mike. They were talking to the guy who played Seg on
Krypton.
On Krypton to be a part of it too, since they canceled the show. And they couldn't work out the timing. Which makes me wonder, because you and I joked about, well, gee, maybe they could bring Lobo in. That'd be, so who knows what else they're talking about. All I know is, every time I turn around, they got somebody else that they're bringing in.
Well, they won't be getting Allison Mack as Chloe from Smallville, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. The other thing is, because Justin Hartley, who is now in This Is Us, played the Green Arrow on Smallville, but So I can't imagine they'll get him back to do anything. I'll be honest. I think it would be cool if they somehow got the guy who played Adam Strange to play Adam Strange.
Yeah, at least continue that. Maybe there might be something they could build from that.
Yeah, honestly, especially with where they built it they left it at the end, because he's finally in the Adam Strange costume. And it's especially since he's from a future timeline, and then it just gets rebooted and he's there. That'd be cool. You know what? That'd be awesome. And he'd be great for Legends of Tomorrow. That'd be a good, you know what? That'd be phenomenal.
I agree.
If they did that. That would be interesting.
At least pick some pieces out of that Krypton series. Right.
If they're not going to figure out a way to use that, I would definitely at least do that. I'm trying to think about any. I'm just kind of zooming through. Oh, I know what it is. That's the other thing. I guess, we've talked, there's all these streaming war rights for all this content with all these different sitcoms. I guess the Dick Wolf catalog is coming up shortly, which would be all the Chicago PD Fire, all that stuff, and all the Law and Orders.
Okay.
You're talking about 20 seasons of Law and Order.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever SVU ends, and and Criminal Intent and all that stuff.
It's all going to be in one place.
Yeah, and they're all bidding for it to be at one place. And I would put money, I bet it's going to probably be on Peacock because of their relationship. But,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it, but that's...
What about NCIS? Is that still going on? Is that CBS?
That's CBS. That's still going. NCIS?
NCIS, yes.
Yeah. Is it? Where is it now? I mean, because they had it in Florida, they had it in New Orleans, they had it in Vegas, right?
Well, they had no. That's CSI. Okay,
that's CSI.
You're mixing up two shows, Ivan.
Okay, well,
you're mixing up two shows. There was an NCIS New Orleans,
right?
I think there's one in Los Angeles that's still on,
right?
But you're thinking about CSI.
CSI.
Las Vegas. They had a New York.
Okay.
They had Miami. Maybe that was the one in New Orleans. I can't remember. After a while, it's like
it all sounds the same because here it is.
Funny. That was one of the jokes. I can't remember what season it is. That's one of the jokes that they had in Entourage is Johnny Drama, who was played by Kevin Dillon, walks in to do an audition for CSI Minneapolis. Right. It hadn't gone that far. It's like, I mean, that's, yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. And that's why that show worked, was you'd have little jokes like that. It's like.
Okay, so pardon my ignorance and
No, it's not ignorance. There's a lot of people who have that reaction because there's like a million of those shows.
It's kind of blend together.
Yeah, so you get confused after a while. They all start looking the same after a while. I mean, the names have been changed, but the stories are all the same.
Yeah, kinda. I am taping some of the new shows this week because the fall season is finally here. So I'm curious to see if I have time enough to watch some of this stuff to see what I catch, what I don't, what that's new versus some of the other stuff because content's going to be insane here for a little bit. If anything, I'm like, geez, I might need another DVR. I don't know. I'm taping the new Jimmy Smits thing as we record this.
Jimmy Smits. Mike's a fan of Jimmy Smits.
Yeah. He's doing another new law. He's doing some law show.
He's starting to look old, man.
Yeah, well.
Looking a bit raggedy, is he?
It's like we were talking about the other day. Family and I were talking about L.A. Law.
Yes.
And all them, Susan Day and Corbin Burnson.
Yeah.
Like Corbin, he's looking really old, actually.
Well, and Harry Hamlin don't look like a spring chicken either.
No. Okay, beg your pardon, but did Susan Day pass away?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Hold
I
on.
think-
Now that I gotta check. We don't want to leave people on that.
Let me check.
And now while everybody's busy checking, I'll sing you a song.
No, she's
No.
still alive.
She's very much alive, Ivan.
Okay. So forgive me if I got a hold of some erroneous internet information. That happens, you know. You know, people that are supposed to be dead and they're not.
I'm not dead yet.
Because I'm not dead yet.
Because the whole sometimes people keep doing the fake news about like Jimmy, what was it, Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I got to share this to my Facebook page. Dude, he's still alive. It's fake.
Yeah. Or the people who've been dead for like 3 years. And
Yeah,
people start sharing it again. And you're like,
And then they're sharing it all over again.
I've had twice. I've had people catch that about Bob Denver. I'm like, no, he died years ago, dude.
You know which one of these kills? Which one I get caught on? I got caught on it twice. Larry Lujak. I got caught on Larry Lujak twice, and then people are like, "Did you see what you're son of a?"
You know what also drives me crazy is when they start introducing those actors and actresses from past shows in the 60s about, oh, the show was so terrible, and now the story about it is even more sad as they keep dredging up more, for the most of it, dross about, you know, just shows that have been long since gone. I'm like, people, really?
Huh?
Well, okay, because I was reading an article about Barbara Eden.
Okay.
Okay, Barbara Eden in her day was really hot. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Belly button got the network in trouble.
Oh, it certainly did. Not to mention the clever way they hid her pregnancy on camera, which that was really cool. But anyway, all I'm saying is, so now you look at these articles about, oh, how things happen and aren't what they seem, and directors were awful, and Dick and you know, and Larry Hagman was a real asshole, you know, and all.
Well, Larry Hagman was a real asshole, supposedly.
Well, yeah, well, but I'm
shot.
saying is,
Yes.
who shot JR? The mystery that was nothing more than a dream on Dallas.
That wasn't a dream. That one wasn't a dream. It's the Bobby thing that was the dream.
Okay.
The Bobby thing was the dream because then they brought him back.
But I thought
That
at
was
the
the
end of
problem.
okay, I thought that at the end of the series it was just like the whole thing was just like this one big.
That's
dream.
saying elsewhere.
That's a snow globe. We talked about
That's
that
saying
years
elsewhere. Yeah, that's the.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Not the dream.
That's the Dwayne McDuffie theory on
Oh,
that
okay.
certain
Yeah,
shows
we really.
are-
Oh yeah, we really.
Well,
went
it is
at
saying
it,
elsewhere,
so-
but that's the Dwayne McDuffie theory on how most of TV isn't real, and we can all thank Richard Belzer for most of it. Because actually, technically, Richard Belzer's character Munch, we can thank Munch for this. Because apparently at one point Munch was, because at one point Munch, when he was on Homicide, crossed over with St. Elsewhere, and since St. Elsewhere was in a snow globe, everything in the history of Law and Order and anything that ever touched Law and Order must now really not be reality.
Okay.
Including their Simpsons, like the Simpsons. I can't remember what else, because like there are times where Law and Order has like crossed over
It's
Right.
deep.
to other shows, and it's like the list is never ending. It's the Dwayne McDuffie theory on all that stuff. It's like hysterical.
Okay.
So let's
Fair enough.
see.
I can't remember all the different ones, but yeah, no, that's St. Elsewhere what you're thinking about, or Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart did that too, where he woke up and it was, I had this really weird dream, and he was really in Chicago after that whole thing in Vermont thing.
Okay.
There was that.
So I was gonna go see maybe if Ivan had time, either Friday or Sunday, we'd have gone to see the Rambo. Last
that
Blood.
got beat. That got beat by the freaking Downton Abbey.
Downtown Abbey movie, yeah.
Yeah, the Downton, or I don't know how to say it.
Downton Abbey.
Downton.
However they pronounce it.
Yeah. Bramble got beat by Butlers.
But did you get your tickets for Joker yet?
No, I did not.
I have to assemble the posse and see who's going. We're going to go see that.
Well, let me know. I'd like to see that.
Right. Well, you can get the train out to Crystal Lake and then.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that wow? Is that?
It's 1 week from Friday.
Weeks?
It's a week from Friday.
Right? Yeah.
It's the 4th.
Well, if God willing and the tides don't rise, yeah, I'd like to check it out.
You know, I've been seeing they've started to play Zombieland double tap ads on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Some of those have been pretty funny. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to go see it in the theater for if it's like $6, but
Bargain Tuesday.
Oh
yeah,
wait, it's a rental
Tuesday.
for me.
I'm enough on that, but yeah, we should. I guess. Well, we're if Mike and I ever want to watch the Bears game tonight, we should wrap.
Well, we still got the news to do.
I know. That's why I'm saying if Mike and I ever want to watch the Bears game tonight, we should.
Let's get a quick little update, and then we'll knock the news out, and we'll be going. So I guess that'll do.
Now all the mystery is gone. We do it all in one night, folks. But yeah, if people want to hear the show, now they know where to find us, but there are other places, so we should tell them.
Yeah, if you want to contact us, we're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We have our goofy news and stuff on our Facebook page. Shout out to Scott.
He's been sending stuff like all night while we've been on. That's half the buzz.
We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when episodes drop. We're on Google Play and as well as the Apple Podcasts app. You want to leave us a 5-star review? That'd be great. We appreciate it very, very much. And we're on email at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, it's nice to hear the words. You can just basically hit the subscribe button on Google Play and iTunes. That is...
Woohoo!
And it's funny,
yeah.
I got it now. I got it on iTunes where it comes in and I'm like, oh, look, it's our show.
Yay!
It's like, yay! We finally made it, man.
We made it to the big time.
And we're on Podbean and Anchor if you have those.
Yes.
And Spotify if you have those as well.
Yes, indeed.
So, Ivan, what are you doing this weekend? Where are you spinning at?
Okay, well, right now, due to the impending hospitalization I got coming up, the closest thing I'll probably be doing, if depending I'm up to it, will probably be starting at on the second Saturday of October, which that'll be Cafe Mustache. I'll be over there doing my usual gig from 9 to 3 a.m., hosting bands and doing tunes. Sunday, I will have the Sweet Soulful Sunday, which I'm doing a dance edition this Sweet Soulful Sunday from 3, and it's going to be an extended set from 3 to 9. Cole's.
That's at Logan Arcade.
Logan Arcade, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cole's, not the clothing store.
Not next to Walmart.
No, not next to Walmart. Cole's, Coles. I'll be doing Music for Night Owls again. I'm doing a special pre-war blues set for that particular show. Then Out of the Satchel is going to come to an end, and it's going to be called Mundo 80s, which I'm going to be now featuring 80s music on the third Wednesday night again at Logan Arcade. So that's going to be all. So that's going to be So it's going to be called Mundo 80s, and that's everything soup to nuts, rock, hip hop, whatever I got in the bag. It's all coming out of there. So, and then
Matthew Sweet.
Yeah,
he's 90s.
Is he?
Well, he did an album in '89.
He did 2 albums before his breakout girlfriend in 91, 92.
Because he was working at A&M then.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so lots of surprises for Mundo 80s, so that'll be exciting.
And they got the Stern thing coming up?
Yeah, we got the Stern Pinball thing coming up October 19th. And the unveiling of the Elvira game with Elvira actually being in attendance, and
I saw a picture of her. She looking good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's still pretty hot.
Yeah, still
Still
looking real good.
Where's it going to be at?
It's going to be at the. Dang, I had it in my head. It's going to be in. Oh my god! And where the radio station is on.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, that narrowed it down.
No. I blanked. I'm so sorry, I blanked.
October 19th, 2019.
Yep, October 19th, 2019. I will be in the main exhibition hall where they're going to unveil the new Elvira pinball, and Elvira will be in attendance. And was asked
October 16th through the 19th.
Right,
the Westin Chicago North Shore and North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling.
Wheeling. There it is. That's what I wanted to say.
Wheeling.
It's at Lake Hooker Road and 45.
I know where that is. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you guys need to come.
I know where that is.
You guys need to come.
Oh.
Come on.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, money's a factor lately.
Well, Wheeling's not far.
Gotta get ready for Christmas, believe it or not.
Well, you know what? I'll put some money. I'll put some divots in your pocket. Will you show?
Divots? You're gonna.
What kind of divots?
You mean like sod, like grass?
Yeah.
Like dollar bill, cash, lettuce,
What
dollar bill, cash, lettuce.
Stripper?
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta put my boobs together for that.
Ivan's gonna.
Oh no, not divots.
You won't have to dance on a pole like J-Lo to get Ivan's divots.
Well, you know what? I would like to see Jeff dance on a pole. I would pay for that.
And that's all the time we have for this week. We appreciate you listening.
I've done that once.
You did?
I did. I was really drunk that night.
Did you film it?
No. Well, this is back in the 90s.
Shit.
Back in the 90s. Shoot. Yeah, I did it once. It was funny. It was late in the evening, and I was at one of the clubs, and it was girls that I knew. And they're like, and we were joking around. I'm like, oh, here, I'll dance for you. And they're like, oh, shut up. You won't even get. I'm like, oh, yeah? Watch this.
You're my hero, Jeff.
It was so funny because they're all dying of laughter because I can't.
Oh, my gosh. I've got so much new respect for you, man.
Well, it was funny because I couldn't get up the pole at all. And I'm like just sitting there trying to jump onto they're dying of laughter.
But the fact that
funny.
you did it. But the fact that you did it, man, that's just, yeah.
Oh, no. I told you. At times it... Yeah. Anyway, well, that's all the time we have. We should probably.
Okay, let's go ahead and tell them where they can find us, Mike.
You already did.
You already did that.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and get the heck on out of here, folks. We'll see you next time on the Squares of the Roundtable podcast. Jive and Ivan over here with Jeff, with Mike. We'll catch up with you next time. Thanks for joining us here, and don't forget we're all over the platform. Yeah, Google Play and Apple. Dig it.